Perfect. Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, December 21st, 2023, and this is a meeting of the Concord Middle School Building Committee. I'm going to call roll. Alexa Anderson, not here today. Do we have Court Booth?
Here.
Good morning, Court. Heather Bout.
Good morning.
Good morning, Justin Cameron.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bob Conry. No Bob
I don't see
today.
Bob yet.
That's okay. Gail Dowd.
I see Gail.
No?
Right.
Yes, sorry about that. I'm here.
Yeah, no problem. Good morning. Peter Verschalis. Is that Peter's iPhone 2? No, different Peter? I assumed it was him. Okay. Don Guariello, I'm present. Russ Hughes.
Here.
Tim Holt.
Here.
Tim! For those that don't know Tim was previously on our committee and he's back as a community member and we're thrilled to have him. He's a wealth of knowledge as it relates to projects in the community. So welcome back, Tim, officially. We heard last meeting that you would be rejoining, so it's great to see you and have you today. So welcome.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Good to be back.
So good to have you back. That it makes our holiday that much better. Lori Hunter.
Morning.
Good morning, Mark Howell.
Here.
Good morning, Carrie LaFleur. Is she with us today? No?
Harry is not able to join us this morning.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. Pat Nelson.
Here.
Good morning, Chris Popoff.
Here.
Charlie Parker.
Here.
Matt Root.
Good morning.
Good morning, Eric Sims.
Here.
Hi, Eric. Steve Stashewski.
I'm here.
Good morning. Wow, we actually have quite a few. Welcome, everyone. Good morning and happy holidays. First order of business, approval of meeting minutes. So everyone should have received the packet from Ian. Is Tim, are you on that distribution?
I am. I got everything. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, very good. So approval of meeting minutes from our last SBC, which was November 16th, 2023. Anyone have any comments, edits, changes? Did everyone have a chance to review? Okay, if we have nothing, I would ask if anyone has a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I will call for those who are voting members. Court Booth.
Approve.
Thank you. Heather Bout.
Yes.
Who's next here? Don Guariello. Yes. Tim Holt. You can
I
abstain.
abstain. I was
Yeah.
here.
Very good. Lori Hunter.
Yes.
Mark Howell.
Yes.
Pat Nelson.
I think it, yeah, yes. No, it says I wasn't present, but I
Oh.
think I was.
You ran the meeting, so you
I
actually
ran
were.
the meeting.
Yeah, you ran it.
Yeah.
So
So,
let's edit that.
yeah, let's
And I
change
assume
that.
everyone that's voted is on board with that change. So you're yes, otherwise?
Yes, and
Pat,
I'm
with the
yes.
change? Okay, very good. Chris Popoff.
Yes.
Charlie Parker.
Yes.
Thank you. Matt Root.
Yes.
And Steve Stashewski.
Yes.
Okay, very good. That motion passes. Next order of business, correspondence and communication update. Heather, it's good to have you back. Where are you? There you are.
There we go. Sorry, it went on mute. Hi, guys. So it's a pretty quick update. The fun communications update is that, oh, actually correspondence first. Sorry, we actually didn't have any correspondence coming to the whole group that I saw, at least, unless anybody else got any. Communications, the bridge did great coverage of the topping off ceremony, which was really neat to see, both online and in the physical paper. So really fun. I think some people have seen it. It's garnering some excitement. And other than that, we'll keep doing kind of updates based on milestones like that. That's pretty much it.
Great, thank you. We should also point out Minuteman Media did the video. That's who made it, right?
Oh, good. Oh, right. Yes, that was
Lori
forwarded
sent it around. It was great. They did a really good job. That was excellent. So
Good.
thanks to them.
Oh, and the Journal covered it as well. I don't tend to mention them anymore because But
All right.
anyway, the journal covered it also.
It was a great event. So those who could join, it was good to see you. And those who missed it, sorry we missed you, but the weather was perfect. It was like sort of mild early winter day. It was great. So good job to everyone who participated and helped plan it. So thank you.
I just want to ask, is the video on the website? I know I got it. Yeah.
Lori sent a link was how
I saw
I
the
saw
link.
it.
No, Erin linked it to the webpage
Oh,
too.
she did.
Great,
Very good.
great.
Awesome. Yeah, good point, Pat. If others are looking for the link to that and weren't on the email, then yeah. Thanks for having Erin do that. All right, thank you, Heather, for that. OPM update is our next item. Ian, Jonathan,
Great.
who's
Thank
doing
you,
it? Ian?
Don. Yeah, I'll cover it this morning. So, let me get this up on the screen. So we'll go through a financial update. We've got a change order to review with you guys this morning, change order 2 from CTA that we'd like to vote on, and then just go through a construction progress report as well. So first and foremost, financial update. You should have received everything here in your packets earlier this week, and so we'll get started. So this is the budget summary sheet. Some of the changes here are reflected in sorry, we're on page 2. On the construction side, so we've accounted for the change order that we'll be reviewing today, showing that in committed costs. That's went through TRC approval, and then hoping to get your vote today as well. And then we've got forecasted cost of $89,452 for change orders. That does not include any of the winter conditions, so we can talk about that. But I've got a breakdown sheet of what we're forecasting. Otherwise, no other major changes on here. Just updates to expenditures and everything. So, any questions on the summary sheet? Nope.
Doesn't sound like.
Great. So this is a TRC update log. We've had a few commitments since the previous meeting. We had some legal fees for ongoing legal services for the project. We had $50 charge for the bridge. We have a commitment for CMLP. So this is for the new electric service for the building. So that takes care of all the commitments for CMLP. And then CTA, this is the change order that we'll be reviewing shortly. From a budget adjustment standpoint, these are all the previous budget adjustments since we've started construction. The only thing that we need a budget adjustment for out of these new commitments is just the CTA change order, moving money from hard cost contingency up to the construction change order line. So that transaction would take care of that. And then from an invoice standpoint, these are all the invoices since the previous meeting. We've got Multivista, who's doing the camera on site. We've got FINA doing the testing and inspections on site. We've got SMMA invoices for their subconsultants and for their construction administration services. We've got the November requisition for CTA at 4.7 million. That's the bulk of it. We've got Hills monthly invoice here. We've got AKF, who is our commissioning agent, doing submittal reviews. So that reflects on their invoice. We've got the Concord Legal services as well, and then CMLP. They do require payment upfront for their services. So we both committed and paid them this month. Any questions? Nope. Oh, yes,
Hey.
Heather.
Oh, sorry, Ian, I know this is not much of an amount compared to the numbers we talk about, but just out of curiosity, what is the $50 for the Concord Bridge?
Good
Any
question.
idea Why we?
Do you want me to take that one?
Yes, please.
Sorry,
I
Heather,
forget.
that was, we needed to put a posting in the newspaper for the commission, the Historic Commission public hearing. So that was,
More like an advert. Okay, got it, got it. I was only wondering because there isn't a subscription. Okay, great. I was just curious. Thank you.
So this is the pending PCO log that I referenced before. So this is what CTA has submitted to us, and we're in the process of reviewing and vetting. Most of these are related to proposal requests that were sent out or various RFI responses. Those are totaling 89.4 right now of risk at this point for change orders.
Question,
Yep.
existing middle school, can you help us out with that one?
Yeah, there was during I forget what month it was a couple months back, there was some concerns with some cracking in,
Right.
in one of the locker rooms.
Yeah.
So we had CTA go over and do some repair work just to make it safe.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Mark, I see your
Mark.
hand up.
Yeah, just the discussion at the Historic District Commission about documenting the building because of the involvement of Gropius architecture. Does that represent any kind of risk that we should be recognizing?
Say again, Mark?
At the Historic District Commission, there was considerable discussion about whether or not the existing school had architectural and historical significance. And while I think they gave us the determination to go forward, they also seem to be asking for additional documentation of the building. And I'm wondering whether that's, what the order of magnitude of that is, or whether we consider that something that should be on this risk of future changes.
Yeah.
Dr. Hunter, do you want
So-
me to?
Yeah, I think Gail and maybe could start that one.
Sure, and I know Jen is here from SMMA.
Yeah.
So Mom, the documentation we have, the majority of it already exists. It's the existing building plans, floor plans, elevation information, as well as pictures of the existing structure. So we have the majority of that already in hand, and Jen, Susie, and I will go through what is required, and if there are additional documents, most of it would be via pictures. We'll pull all of that together, so that'll be done internally.
Okay.
I'm just curious, did I hear you say Gropius?
Yeah.
What, I mean, Gropius had something to do with the architecture of the middle school?
That was the discussion. Apparently his firm designed the school, and it was unclear whether he had any actual involvement with it or not. But
Just
at
with-
least
Yeah,
one of the people on the commission seemed to want to investigate that further.
okay, thank you.
Might be a good time to just give an update on that topic. Gail, do you want to take that, or Jen? The meeting that happened last Thursday.
Sure, I can give a really quick, we had, as part of the permit application for the demolition permit, we needed to go in front of the Historic Commission. So SMMA had done the lion's share of the work ahead of time. We had submitted information to the State Historic Commission, and Jen, if I say something wrong, feel free to jump in.
No,
So
that's right.
we have received no information, no response back from the state, which is a good indication that they do not feel that there is anything of historical significance to prevent the demolition. So the meeting we had was, I don't want to downplay, it was more of a formality that we needed to go in front of the Historic Commission, supply them with the application that they needed. So we did that, and it was a unanimous vote that there was nothing of historic significance that would prevent us from moving forward with the demolition permit. So the only piece we need to do is follow through with the documentation to the Historic Commission, as well as providing it to the library trustees as well, so that the documentation is maintained. So overall, great meeting and no obstacles that would get in the way of us proceeding with the demolition permit next February of 25.
Yep. Yeah, it was a good outcome. Just a refresher, for everyone, the fields, the new fields is the location of where the existing school is. So school has to come down in order to put the fields in, is the design plan here. So anything else on the PCO log? Move on to cash flow. So this is the cash flow update for this month, reflecting actual expenditures versus estimated expenditures, and then the graph here. So we're following the curve. Gail and I have met, and we've kind of gone over cash flow reporting and how we want this to look in the future. So we are going to do some updates to the way that we're reporting this. I think the long and short of it is we're going to do more projecting forward. So basically flushing out, some of the past projections and pushing those values forward so that it's a more realistic approach to projections here. So equalizing the past and then pushing money forward for projections, and capturing that for future projections. So look out for that update in January. The last order of business on the financial front is,
Sorry, Ian, can I say one thing about cash flow?
yeah,
We had a question from one of our finance committee members, and I just want to point out they were questioning some of the content of the cash flow. And I think between Ian and Carrie, or is it Ian and Gail, who did you meet with? How it's reported will be updated kind of next month and beyond. So I just want to point out that there was a question about it and how you're reporting it. So.
Yep. Thank you. So last order of business is just the change order 2. And from a process standpoint, just to recap, these are all individual PCOs that are submitted by CTA. They're reviewed and vetted by Hill, SMMA, and we get them to a point where we feel we can present to the TRC, and then we present, on a weekly basis to the TRC for review and acceptance of these PCOs. This is just packaging up those approved PCOs into a change order. So we've got 7 PCOs here in this change order that we've packaged up since in the past month, roughly. So these are the various PCOs that we would like to get approved today. And I think from a process standpoint, it just requires a committee vote to accept the change order and the recommendation by the TRC. So I don't know if we want to get into any of these, if there's any questions about content. Steve?
Hi, yeah, so I reviewed the list and agree with all of the items that are in the list and the values that are presented in the change order. They're all accurate. They're all representative of what we discussed and vetted during the TP meetings weekly over the past month or two. And I feel we agree. Let Gail speak for herself and others, but I'm in favor of these.
Can I ask one question here, very quickly? This is Tim. What would be the percentage of change orders that of current change orders versus the overall contingency budget, and how does that compare to expenses, the current expenses related to the overall expense budget? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'd have to run the calculations.
That's okay. You can do it at other points. I just kind of a metric of where you are versus change orders versus the overall expenses.
Yeah. I mean, so from a change order standpoint, we've had change order 1 and 2 are a little over $100,000 in changes so far, and we've got a construction contingency of 4.4 million. So
yeah,
pretty well off there.
Okay.
And then we've got other reserve contingencies as well, and the bid savings and bid contingencies.
Yeah, just something that shows, maybe added to the whatever you report, just something very quickly. It shows those two percentages, so you can very quickly see where you are with change orders versus the overall project.
Sure.
You don't have to spend a lot of time right now.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Thanks, Tim. I also think that would be helpful, just a snapshot of where we are with all of our contingencies.
Maybe I missed it, but I thought we had talked about like a visual pie chart of them. No? Like reporting out based on how much was being used percentage wise, but maybe that was a previous conversation. I know we talked about it at one point, Ian.
Yeah, I think we brought
I
it
had
up.
shared one that I used on my, well, not me, but an OPM was using on another project. It's just, I'm a graphic person. It's helpful. Like I look at things like this and I'm like, oh my God, it's just words and numbers. And like, that's just not how my brain works. But for me, like a pie chart of the different contingencies and how much is being used versus remaining is helpful for me because I'm visual. But.
Yeah, we can put something together now that we have some change orders in the mix here. We'll put together some graphics.
Great. Thank you.
So I think all we need to do is just vote at this point if there's no questions or concerns.
Well, then I'd say we need a motion.
Sounds something like approve change order number 2.
Yeah, you just need to make a motion to approve change order number 2 in this value 72,118.96.
Okay. Move that we approve change order number 2 in the amount of $72,118.96.
Thank you, Mark. We have a motion. Any second?
I'll second.
Thank you very much. We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, let's call for a vote. Court Booth.
Aye.
Heather Bout.
I
Don Goriello, yes. Tim Holt.
Aye.
Lori Hunter.
Yes.
Mark Howell.
Yes.
Pat Nelson.
Yes.
Chris Popoff.
Yes.
Charlie Parker. Did we lose Charlie?
Yes.
Oh, there you are. I'm seeing mostly Ian's screen, so I don't see everyone's faces. Thank you, Charlie. Matt Root
Yes.
and Steve Stashevsky.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. Thank you, Ian.
Great, thank you. Next up is the construction update. So we've got quite a bit of activity on site in the building footprint. This photo here, you're looking at building C, that's tarped and heated for a period of time. So progress in building C, we've got all the slab on deck is complete. For concrete work floor to floor, we've got the slab on grade is about 60% complete. The only portion that remains is part of C2 for the slab on grade. They've started spray applied fireproofing, and they do the perimeter as well as all the interior beams and coverage of the steel for fireproofing. So they're about 30% complete on spray applied fireproofing. They've started exterior wall framing. They started the roof parapet. They have also started with the sheathing component. So they're trying to button up this portion of the building. The interior layout has started as well. So they've started, mapping out all the interior walls and laying those out. They'll start framing here in the near future. And then they've also started mechanical ductwork as well. And this is a snap of what it looks like inside. They've got, all the temporary lights up and various trades working inside of the building at this point. So building B, the steel erection is complete. They're still doing some detailing and decking in building B. It's not completely signed off yet from a structural standpoint, so they can't quite wrap it or start occupying it with other trades, but that's coming up here in the near future. The underground plumbing is complete and the underground electrical work is ongoing. Similar story with building A. Footings and foundation walls were complete on 11/30, so that's it for foundation work. That wrapped up at the end of November. They've got underground plumbing complete and the underground electrical is ongoing. The steel erection was completed on 12/8, and the decking and detailing is ongoing as well there. So they're going to keep moving from east to west here through the building. On the site work front, the ramp and cast in place walls are still in progress. That's what you're looking at here. Quite a bit of infrastructure that needs to go in to establish this ramp that wraps up and around to the back of the building. They're installing precast retaining wall at the south elevation. So if you go further along this elevation here, there's a precast retaining wall that they've started installation on. The stormwater is 85% complete for phase one of the project. Sanitary is about 75% complete. They did fill the hydrant system with water. So we've got live fire hydrants on site. And then some other highlights here. They're still working on the building mock-up. We had a building envelope meeting with a few kickoff meetings with the various trades. The commissioning agent was out here. They did inspect the air vapor barrier on the mock-up. Everything was accepted. Everything looks good there. And there will be performance testing on the mock-up once they have the windows. They anticipate having windows in the mock-up mid-January. So we should see testing of that mock-up starting in January, end of January 2024. The other thing we just wanted to highlight was just the issuance of the CCD too. As you guys know, we adjusted the phase one completion date to January 16th, 2025, and allowed for reimbursement of specific winter conditions. We've been tracking that on a weekly basis. Vin Miller, who's our site manager, is managing the on-site process for that. He has the trades sign in and sign out. He reviews all the daily slips for everything, reconciles it, verifies time and everything. And it's something that's reviewed weekly with the TRC. So we're just staying on top of that process. And we've talked about packaging up those winter conditions costs on a monthly basis, just so that we can start getting small chunks of this behind us as we move forward. So any questions?
Chris, I see your hand up.
Yeah, Ian, I take it that the design professionals have been happy with the concrete deck installation in building C and the insulation on the steel and those kinds of things. You haven't seen any problems with the quality of that work.
No, I can let Jen speak to that.
Yeah, no, I think on-site everything's going, the construction overall is going really well. The quality, for the most part, we're pleased with. So subs are strong, subcontractors. So, yep.
And that mimics what Vin told me out on site one of the times I was out there. So that's consistent with his, experience out there. So it's good to hear. Matt Root, I see.
Thank you, Don. Ian, I'm just curious if AKF is issuing any reports, if those can be made available to the committee.
Sure. Yeah, they haven't done any official reports yet. We started with the building envelope commissioning, so that's SGH. So we can get them once they do a formal report, we'll issue it to the committee.
Super. Thank you, Ian.
Yep, no problem. Just some more photos here of things happening on site. So this is the spray applied fireproofing. This gentleman here is up on scaffolding, spraying on the fireproofing. So this is what it looks like, basically covering all the beams in the building. And then here's some shots of the slabs in progress. So this is completed slabs in building C, curing, and then this is the slab that's remaining. This is C2 that they're prepping here for a pour. And then steel progress. So this is what it looks like up on B, building B, just looking through the building skeleton with the decking in place. And then this is just a shot from the corner of the building. This completes all the steel erection on this side of the building. So Steve?
I was wondering if you had any update on procurement of materials and equipment, whether or not there's anything that's on a watch list for.
I think I understood that question. You're breaking up a bit. Materials, long lead items, things on the watch list. Is that the gist?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's the gist.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah, I think from a procurement standpoint, they seem to be on top of everything. We haven't, the only thing that we have heard of as a potential concern is just long lead on some of the electrical equipment, and that's pretty consistent across the board for all projects. So they have at this point pushed those submittals through and have started procurement of all these things. It's just a matter of when they're going to land on site next year. So they're working currently through a schedule update with their subs, which should kind of push through some of these questions of completion with material. So we hope to see an update from them soon on schedule. But otherwise, yeah, everything that's in the foreseeable future here over the next couple of months, I think all the materials are flushed out, ready to come to the job site.
I also wanted to ask about the winter protection. Just to be sure, there's photographs being taken on a regular basis by Hill to help us vet out those the work that's being taken, being put in place each day.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Vinny's been taking photos of work as it progresses.
Great.
Yep. Yeah, so these are some of the drone captures from December 8th. So this is looking down on the building. You can see the entire building taking shape at this point. This is building C over here, B, and then A. And then they've established some more pathways through the site. You can start to see the paths of travel in the parking areas. And then this is the topsoil pile over here. Starting to load up the site with a few more trailers as more trades come on site. But definitely starting to see the building take shape more here. And then this is the elevation capture. And that's all we had for construction update.
Great, thank you, Ian. Very helpful to see, especially for those who haven't been out there. Lots going on. Okay, our next order of business. Are there any questions? Sorry, before we move on. No? Everyone asked what they wanted to along the way of Ian? Okay. Next order of business is CPC funding update. Is that Lori? Are you going to report on that? Where are we?
I can. Anecdotally, I have heard we're likely to, their support for funding. They need to make their way through all the hearings and into all the way to town meeting for formal approval. And I just say anecdotally because as far as I know, Carrie LaFleur and I know I haven't received anything formal that we're in the mix for consideration, but I have heard from people who attended some meetings that we are. So more to come. If that is approved all the way through town meeting, it'll be a reduction to the borrowing and the taxpayer will, ultimately save some money.
Well, that would be great news, but we will take that as a maybe and wait to hear officially. So that's great. Anything more on that? Any questions, anyone? No? Okay, great. Let's see, we're on new business. Does anyone have any new business? All right, clearly we're moving through the easy part of the agenda. Public comments. Anything from the public that are joining us today? No? Last chance? Okay, no public comments today. Next steps in our next meeting. Ian, we're into 2024 already.
We are. Yeah, we're gonna start sending out meeting invitations for 2024. So we've been having them the third week of the month. If that still works for everybody, we can do that. January 18th would be the next meeting date.
Works for me. I like the kind of once a month and it feels like a different pace, which is kind of nice. It's great. All right, so yeah, that'd be great to get in people's calendars because I think once we get through the holidays, everyone's going to feel like 2024 is hitting them like a train wreck, right? It's like sometimes things get busy right after the holidays because people are putting stuff off now. So that would be good. So plan on the 18th at 7:30 in the morning. I assume that's a Thursday. I don't have my calendar open.
It is.
All right, very good.
Dawn,
Yes.
Do we want to look ahead to February? I don't know if we're gonna have school staff.
Oh, on the third week,
here if
that's a
we're
good
on
point.
Vacation.
You won't have me, I'll be on vacation. So we should probably move that one up or back, Ian, based on professionals' availability. But thank you, Court, that's a good point. February break will be on us then. Does anyone have a strong preference one way or another? If not, I'll look to the professionals to make a suggestion.
Is the vacation starting on the 19th?
The 19th week,
Okay.
yeah.
The third Thursday is actually the 15th.
Oh, so right before? Well,
Because
there
the
we
first
there we have it then.
is
Oh,
a
right, you are, yeah, good.
February.
Okay. All right, so
Shoehorn
let's
it
plan
in.
on the
Good.
15th then. That's a good point. Thanks, Heather, for having a calendar open.
Sure, no problem.
All right, so plan on the 18th of January, 15th of February. And we'll wait to get invitations in our calendar from Phil for those.
Yep. Yeah, we'll get those up.
All right, very good. Anything else before we adjourn today?
Can I just say one comment? We don't have to discuss this, but it seems to me, I was thinking about this week, that was probably a best test of rainwater runoff that we're going to get for a while. I mean, that was a lot of water in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
And my thought was, did they learn anything that we didn't already know related to the site's receptivity to that amount of water? Because I think it would be interesting information. There's a big drop off on that site to the backside. Yeah. And we don't have to talk about that now, but I just thought it occurred to me that was a pretty good test to see if what our assumptions were relating to stormwater runoff were actually accurate.
Yeah. That was a big test. Certainly got a lot of rain in a very short period of time. This site has seen similar situations through the fall months, and had some varying successes and made some improvements along the way. So I think at this point, the site is doing what it needs to do as far as draining and keeping work protected in place. So yeah, I think they did just fine.
Erosion control measures that are in place are working great currently. The biggest issue they had with this last storm was wind blowing the fence over because of the scrim. But they put that right back up.
Acts like a kite, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or a sail. Okay, yeah, great point, Tim, and glad to hear that things are mostly fine out there despite the weather. So it's good news.
Yep.
Okay, anything else? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn this morning.
So moved.